Hey, it's Ross of 98.1 The Max. This is Homegrown. This is a very special interview. And this is actually the second time I've had this young gentleman in the studio. He's a man. He's a man. Tyler effin Miller, organizer of Memphis Punk Festival, and now the proud entrepreneur and a driving engine behind Catnasty Records.
Yep, I wouldn't call myself much of an entrepreneur in it because there's not really that much money in it. But it's the main goal is just for the local music community. And what I wanted to announce today with coming here and whatnot is that the first one sampler put out was called Junt. And Jump Volume 1 is based on bands like Chinese Connection, Dub Embassy, to some local hip-hop artists, and to local punk and metal. You know, it stretches the whole spectrum. But there's so many bands in Memphis that I'm going to do another one called Jump 1.5. That one's coming up soon. It will be available on cassette and CD as well, and digital download for free. But what I wanted to announce today was after that, Jump Volume 2, we're going to go to New Orleans and do the New Orleans Underground. Jump Volume 3, we're going to go to West or East Tennessee, you know, towards Nashville, Middle Tennessee. We're just going to go all the way across the country, find the gems in the underground of hip-hop, punk, metal, reggae, ska, blues, rockabilly, all that, just like the underground, driving people in their music communities. And the cool thing about this first one that I did was when I had the idea, I was like, man, this is a long shot. Like, you know, it's going to be so hard to get bands to want to do something like this. And after I started hitting up the first couple bands of who I would think would be, you know, great on it, and just it would work towards my vision of what I was shooting for, you know. And immediately everybody confirmed. It was like, yes, please put us on there. Here's the tracks. How many do you want, you know? And everybody sent it to me so quick. And then with that quick response, that was just an immediate victory for me, you know. I felt really good about that because knowing that I had the support behind the music scene and the music community already in Memphis to jump on it, want to be a part of something like this is, you know, phenomenal. It's a really good feeling.
Well, this certainly isn't something that happened overnight because you've been booking shows in Memphis for the last 3 years.
This will be the fourth year, yes.
Fourth year?
Yes.
Okay, this will be the fourth year of Memphis Punk Fest.
Yes.
And so you've already established, you've established credibility. So people know that you're the person to talk to book shows, whether all music genres. So it wasn't like you're just coming like, hey, man, be on my mixtape.
Yeah.
Like this was something.
That did definitely help. But I mean, like, I try to be the good guy and, like, help everybody sees what I'm doing, you know, is, like, these bands come in on tour all the time, all across the country, and they're not going to play your city unless there's somebody to be like, hey, man, I'll help you out. And that's just what Memphis Punk Promotions was when it started, you know. I was just helping out bands that were like, hey, do you know where we can play a show? Do you know any bands that want to play with us? And I just started booking so many shows. I got to where I've just passed 250 bands that I've booked in the past 4 years.
Wow.
And it's going to go up over 300 by July, actually, because with Punk Fest and everything else that's coming out on top of that, I already have, I think, 25 bands announced on the Memphis Punk Promotion Facebook page with the under the events tab.
MemphisPunkPromotions.com, right?
Actually, the website is MemphisPunkFest.com. Okay. But if you scroll to the bottom of the page, it says click here for upcoming shows, and it'll redirect you to another link. You click that one, and it brings you to the Facebook page where everything's listed. It's easier than, you know, trying to type up 4 different website pages of calendars. I did that before, and too much time.
Let's say all you need is an app.
Yeah, I wish.
That'd be pretty cool.
I need to find some more people that are like app developers and do some stuff for booking. I know Jack Simon's working on something like that he's doing with the EPK page, which is really great. I just signed up for it.
What's that?
It's an EPK is what you send out when you're trying to get booked through somebody. You know, something you need like it's electronic press kit.
Okay.
So it's just got your music videos, your bio, the info about the band, whatnot. But it's like a website. That's how it's designed. So you just send that website in the email, and the booker has everything they need to know about you, everything that you've done. So that's something Jack Simon's doing right now through Bristol Street Productions, and I definitely would check it out if you're a local band.
Awesome. Make it a little easier for you to book a show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because Memphis Punk Fest, you're at multiple different venues, different times. a lot of it's going on at the same time.
Yeah.
So, like, I know a lot of festivals, what they're doing is they're creating an app so you can find out which stage is going on, where, who, what's playing after that. I mean, just a whole complete schedule. So, I mean, I would imagine it's getting easier to create an app.
Actually, I think that might be possible, and I might use that idea if you don't mind.
Please do.
I think I know who I can call on that, so I'm going to try to figure that out. But, yeah, I mean, that is something that definitely should be available.
You download the app, and then...
It's like for anyone that's holding an event anywhere, That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, and then you just tied it over to just a normal day-to-day after the festival or even before the festival.
Because normally I hand out, like, whenever people buy their weekend passes for Punk Fest or buy a ticket or whatnot, they get a pamphlet showing all the door times of everything that's going on at the festival. I mail them out with the pre-sale tickets and everything. So
when does pre-sale
always
go
that. Pre-sale starts March 1st for Punk Fest.
Okay.
This year's mainly going to be based around Memphis history and not so much of going out of my way to book a bunch of bands from out of town, because I mean it's great whenever that happens, but it's like we're getting so many bands in on tour. Pretty much this whole year is like a punk fest in that theory, Yeah. I mean, so many great bands are decided to come back to Memphis just because they're hearing how well everybody's working together down here, and I think that's a great thing.
You said you've already started making the announcement for bands for Memphis Punk Fest?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
The announcement starts March 1st, but I will go ahead and say that Subteens and Pez are going to be playing together along with the Draws and a couple other bands, and that's actually just part of one show.
Nice.
It is going to be spread out like it was last year, multiple venues, day shows, night shows. And I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I've got food trucks for the first time this year that I'm hitting up and whatnot. Some pretty cool ones like sushi. There's going to be ice cream truck at every venue serving serve ice cream. Who doesn't love ice cream punk rock?
Yeah.
Because
it's funny, you don't call yourself an entrepreneur, but, I was thinking I was thinking on the way here, you don't, the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Right now, you have, I'm going to say that's a foot tall cone, 4 cone spikes going down the middle of your head. Now you are about to go to American Idiot because you're playing American Idiot. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like. You are doing more than most college grads. You know what I mean?
Drop out.
and did you drop out of high school?
I dropped out of college.
Dropped out of college
because of missing the first 2 weeks of music theory. I didn't get the note about skipping 4 consecutive classes, gives you automatic 0. So that made me lose all my scholarships. I had about 12,000 scholarships and lost all of it. And
what a betrayal!
Yeah.
It's music class of all classes is what does it.
Yeah, I mean, I hit the ground like that. It was just kind of like, well, I'm kind of screwed. I was living with some friends and ended up couch surfing a little bit more and going to more shows and started playing music with people the next year after that, and I just built myself back up from that because I'm not from here. I mean, I don't have any family or nothing down here, or if I do, I really don't see them or nothing.
Yeah, yeah. No, and you're making it happen in your own way, which is. I mean, I just find that admirable and awesome because that's.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
that's
that.
the way. That's the way. Anytime I hear a story about how it was done, I mean, it's Bill Gates. Bill Gates dropped out of college. I don't want to say you're the Bill Gates.
I'm not going to be the Bill Gates. I give all the money to the bands.
And good, because they need the gas money to go to the next spot.
Oh, yeah. This is the most important part because so many bands will come in on tour. Sometimes they'll be like, the last 3 shows that we had were free shows and we were just relying on selling merch. We didn't know if we were going to make it to Memphis, and like I hand them like $250 that just came through the door and like a tip bucket that I went around and collected, and they're just like ecstatic about it. It's like that big break for them. And most Memphis bands, whenever they play these shows with these touring bands, don't want any part of taking any of the cover for themselves most of the time because they understand like how it is being on the road. Whenever something like that happens, it's just like, it's a great thing because being on the road is pretty hard most of the time.
Absolutely.
You never know where you're going, what you're driving into, or what kind of people are going to be at the show. You never know if, there's going to be a PA or nothing, but I make sure to be up front and settle everything like, as expected. If we're being booked in a city and you get to the venue and everything's there that you need, and there's your point of contact right there taking door, I just think that's how it should be.
No, it's like actually It's like a real life mosh pit. It's like organized chaos. Everybody looking out for each other.
Oh yeah.
And you're taking care of them. That way they come back.
Yeah.
And that's really what keeps the scene thriving.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell people is whenever you support a band on tour or whatnot, like Pears, for example, Pears blew up so big they got signed to Fat Records, right before Punk Fest last year, and they're doing their album release not even in America. They're going out in Europe first now.
Yeah.
They're just getting so big, and bands like that, they just kind of rolled in on a Monday night one night. And I was like, hey, guys, check this out. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I know you never heard of this band before. And they got there, and everybody had a great time. And then Pears had a great time, so they just kept coming back. And even though that they're signed to this larger label now, they'll still play for the minimal fee just because they love Memphis and the community so much. And there's so many bands that are like that. And we've all built like a good respect level on. We all hang out. We consider each other friends most of the time.
Nice.
Nice. We see each other 2 or 3 times a year, but it's like that old friend or something. But they're just rolling through your town playing music on a Tuesday.
That's cool. That's cool. And I noticed you brought a box, and it's got all it's got some CDs, but it's got a lot of cassettes too.
Yeah.
And we talked about this before. I think I were at the PNH one night.
Yeah.
Bringing back cassettes.
Dead media is pretty cool, man. You can collect it. I'm a vinyl collector, dude. So. I thought I just had the idea like cassettes. I was like, I wonder. I went to Google and typed in cassette duplicator and started looking up all the prices for everything else if I were to do something like this. And then 2 weeks later, I ordered everything.
Mm-hmm.
Spent my whole paycheck on it. Actually, I shouldn't have done that, but
how to make an omelet? You got to crack a few eggs.
Yeah.
So you're gonna start selling cassettes for Catnasty Records?
Yes, they've already. A bunch of them are actually been sold. I'm actually on my second order of 100 right now that I'm working through right now.
You already sold the first batch?
Yes. People
Wow.
online just like been hitting me up on it. Catnasty.bandcamp.com. You can go there, get a free digital download of it. For $5. I think it's like 2 or 3 for the shipping that adds on top of it. I'll mail you a cassette to wherever you're at, and that's how a lot of people have been buying them and just been mailing them out.
You had a really good theory about why cassettes were selling, and it somewhere along the lines of it's something physical you can hold.
Yeah,
like you said, it's nostalgic. You can put, it takes you back. Even kids who aren't old enough to have cassettes the first go around.
Yeah.
Are buying cassettes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, music has become something that's just like it's everywhere we go. It's in your face. It's always playing. You can't really escape it, But with streaming, stuff like that, it just makes people, not really appreciate something as much. But if you sit there and you own a physical album of your favorite album, it's just, a different feeling.
There is a disconnect between streaming something, downloading it, being in digital form,
yes,
and not holding it, because I stream music, I download digital copies all the time.
Yeah, me too.
But I forget albums, like, oh yeah, this artist, blah blah blah, that album, I can't really remember it. I remember almost every album I bought.
Same here. I mean, I'm the same way. Like so many bands, I listen to so much different kind of music, and that's why you can tell with the label and the stuff that I'll be signing, which I'll start signing bands and artists in March. It's going to be everything all across the spectrum, But when it comes down to it, there's so many bands that I have downloaded on my computer, and half of them I can't just be like, oh yeah, this song, track 4, Yeah. But if I have physical copy of it, I can tell you anything, like where it was recorded,
Yeah, because you held it, you looked at it.
Yeah.
It's different. It's like reading a newspaper and then reading online. I always retain or know more about what was in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went through, and you went through the trouble of buying it, taking it to your home, throwing it in your car.
Yeah.
It's just too easy. When things are easy, you don't appreciate it, even if it's subconsciously.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's awesome. So, all right, so you're about, like, you said that you're playing American Idiot, the show.
Yeah.
We were talking about this, and I thought it was great that they were hiring local musicians.
Yeah.
And you said that they put a flyer up for American Idiot to hire, like, if you audition for the band.
Yeah.
So you just saw it and you said, like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, it was like Green Day, like, can you play some Green Day songs, And I was like, well, that sounds cool. Like, I rarely get paid as a musician, so why not take that break, you know?
Yeah.
So I hit him up, and we started talking about stuff, and told him about what I do with booking and whatnot, and all the punk bands I've played in. And he was just like, yeah, let me come over to your house and just see you play guitar for a minute. And it was like 30 seconds later, he was like, yeah, you got it. It's mainly the look, but... And then next thing I know, I'm playing in it with Josh McClain, of course.
Yeah. Josh McClain, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yep. He's going to be going to be at Memphis Punk Rock Fest again this year as well.
Yes.
It's going to be a Memphis Comedy Fest stage, and actually Ross Turner, you are going to be on it. You know.
Yes.
We talked about the other night.
Cracking some jokes.
Yeah,
we got to work on that. It's going to be a different crowd than. Actually, it's going to be the same P&H crowd. Is really.
Yeah. I mean, on a Sunday though, you'll get it fills up. Like last year, it was a damn near to the back door. You know.
Really.
Yeah.
That's nice. Nice. And we were laughing because. Is it cool to like Green Day? And you're like, are we going to record this? Because Green Day is one of those bands.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody
They're
shares.
Definitely one.
Look, okay, Green Day is the Hall & Oates of punk rock.
I love that. But no, I mean, I just see it as like when American Idiot came out when I was a kid, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then my mom was like, no, and gave me Dookie. And then she was right. I just hated American Idiot after that point. And I was like 13. And I just listened to Dookie and Slappy Hours and all that stuff, you know.
10,000 Slappy Hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kerplunk and all that. And I got way into that kind of Green Day, which also bled into me liking bands like Screeching Weasel and, you know, just other pop punk bands. And
your hate for American Idiot.
Yeah, I kind of hated it for a while. And then whenever this happened and I found out it was American Idiot, I was like, and then I started playing it, and then I started reading like some of the script and like seeing how it actually goes on and what the musical is about, and it kind of gave me a different like for it, I guess, you know. I saw a different perspective of it, and the story was incredible how it works out as the album. And I guess that now that I'm older, I can appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Because as an angsty kid, that wasn't the angsty punk album of Green Day.
No, it was a punk rock opera.
It was a rock opera, you know. But
nothing's funnier that you had that.
That's all I had to say about Green Day.
And then but what's great is your mom is the one that gave you Dookie.
Oh yeah.
She's like, no, check this out.
Yeah.
So your mom was into it in 90. Was it 94?
Yeah, that's when Dookie came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
She also gave me No Doubt Rocksteady that same day too.
Really?
Oh no, it was Tragic Kingdom.
Tragic Kingdom, yeah. I think Rocksteady was the one that came out before that, the All Red album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Man, nothing's linear. That's funny.
Right.
That's funny. And now you're playing with on American Idiot, which gives you a different perspective and a different appreciation for it. Anytime you're in the middle of something, you're actually taking part in it. I guess it changes the meaning.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've never been in or seen a play, to be honest, you know, or a musical. So this was a really cool experience being a part of it.
I was gonna say, how's it looking at the crowd?
Oh no, I don't see the crowd until the end of it, actually.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm behind this wall, like the whole band, the orchestra, and everything. We're off to the side, and we come out at the last song. So that's about the only time you actually see me, but. It's a good show.
How's it different from playing in a band in a live show, like in a?
I got like in-ear monitors. My amp is like turned against the wall and 20 feet away. You know, it's really strange. And also having a music stand in front of me with real music, and I haven't looked at real music in years. You know, so it took me a second. And music theory back in my head just kind of clicked back on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was studying music theory back since I was like 13, 14. But after that happened in college, I was like, man, no, screw music theory. And I just didn't ever look into it anymore. I had the knowledge, you know, to write and do my own writing and whatnot. But whenever it was in my face again, I was like, oh, God. So that's also something that was really weird about it and totally not like playing in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a music stand and reading music.
Because it's almost, I would imagine it feels like a practice. Because you don't see anybody. You're only looking at each other. You're concentrating on the monitor in your ear.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, it's
really strange. But, I mean, it's a really cool experience, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anything unique and new is gonna be cool put in the bank.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Catnasty Records. So you've been how long you been going with Catnasty for a minute?
I just launched it January 1st of this year.
January 1st? Okay. Yeah. And, I mean, it's a generic question, but what would you like to see come out of this in the long run?
Really, just I want more people to have access to listening to these bands of the underground. It's kind of hard to put in words, but I'm not trying to make money off of it. Like, I'm not trying to make $1,000. I'm only trying to make 100. Really, I'm just trying to make it easier for these bands to have some kind of exposure to the outside world, because with all these different artists in Memphis, there's no local labels like really taking care of them at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some taking care of some bands, and then there's just everybody else, and once you have some kind of backing to say you're on some kind of punk sampler of some random DIY label, it's something physical and something you can actually, use with your band to reach a new crowd and network. And I just think it's really great how it all comes together that way.
Yeah, because a lot of bands that I've had in here and I've talked to,
yeah,
they're all on labels, either out of California. One is in Germany.
Yeah,
like they're not local.
Yeah, and there's really not much to offer for these newer bands in Memphis, Yeah. So that's why I started doing this, and along with the hip hop and the reggae and everything on there, it's just something to help everybody out at once, bring everybody together, show the world like, hey, this is going on in Memphis right now. You should check it out.
Yeah.
And that's the whole bias of it, I guess.
It's awesome.
Basis.
Yeah. Any shows coming up that you want to plug or talk about?
Agent Orange is coming to the High Tone February 26th. That's going to be a really awesome show. And I want to just plug that just because I'm playing it. It's also my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, Ivy.
Happy birthday, Ivy.
And, everything else, I have, like I said, about 26 shows announced on Memphis Punk Fest on Facebook.com. If you go to MemphisPunkFest.com, you can also reach it there. There's just a bunch of stuff coming to town, and can't really throw it all at you at once.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. We got some Italian speed metal bands to some newer pop punk stuff. We got the whole spectrum coming. Really great stuff.
It's your wife's birthday today?
Oh, no, her birthday's the 26th, the Agent Orange show.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I was about to say, it's like the day before Valentine's Day. You better...
Oh, yeah.
You better make it something special tomorrow.
Oh, no, that's all she gets. She's great. She's great.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I was talking to her, I think, on Thursday night, because I gave her my sister's thesis on bronies. My sister wrote a thesis on bronies, and... yeah, that cracked me up. And she's like, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. It's like, I was proud. I was like, man, my sister getting it done. I didn't read it.
Yeah.
I just forwarded it because we were talking about bronies.
Yeah. She has something where she just loves those ponies. She just loves those ponies.
Yeah. Sometimes the greatest things in life, there's no rhyme or reason to it. And,
nope.
Questioning it is the problem. Just let it be.
Yeah.
Just let it be.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Tyler, I appreciate you coming in, man. Catnasty Records.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Catnasty Records. Just list off all the okay. Catnasty Bandcamp.
Oh, catnasty.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
MemphisPunkFest.com. And between those two, you can find everything else out that's going on. There's the Memphis Punk Fest website actually has redirect links to everything for Memphis Punk Promotions, Catnasty Records, and shows coming to town. It also has a tab for local bands that are currently active and playing with these bands that come through on tour. Then there's another tab it's called Help. I'm actually adding some more stuff in there, but as of now, it's got information for graphic designers in Memphis, information for where, like, I would go to, like for stickers and patches, places you can get shirts printed for a great price and they're really quality,
Yeah.
So it's just it's an actual like help tab for bands on in Memphis or anywhere else. If you're a local band, half the time you don't know what you're doing when you start. But
no, I was just
put all that info in the same place, and like for recording and mastering and mixing and all that, CD packaging, list Catnasty Records, cassette packaging, list Catnasty Records, and then there'll be a where you can actually email me through that, ask more questions, and I can personally help you with whatever you need as a band.
I hope Memphis treats you, because if you leave, it's gonna be a shame, man. Because you're like a one-stop shop right now.
Yeah, I'm putting too much on my plate.
Hey, that's how you know your limits.
Yeah.
Again, Tyler Miller, appreciate you coming in. Catnasty Records, make sure you check it out. And as always, I always love having you in.
Rock on.
My man.